Welcome to my channel, Surprise Comics. This is Matt coming back at you with another CGC Submission Arrival. The comics I'm going to show you today are mostly exclusives I picked up at San Diego Comic-Con. I sent these off beginning of August, gone back about a week ago, or just actually earlier this week. And so I'll show you what I got, what their grades are. Most of these are newer books, so the grades are all pretty high, so I'm happy about that. So this first book is Invincible #1. It's the 5th anniversary, Skybound 5th anniversary edition. When you went to they had an exclusive at the Comic-Con where they had a box of about 10 different #1s that came out from Skybound. And so I bought one of those boxes. I picked out the best ones from the box and sent them in. The next few comics will be that. I also got Thief of Thieves. Came back in 9.8 as well. Reprint of Thief of Thieves #1. Manifest Destiny #1 reprint 9.8. Outcast #1 reprint 9.8 on that one as well. And the last one I sent in from that box is the most famous Skybound comic of all, Walking Dead. And you know, obviously there's about 1 million different versions of Walking Dead #1. It's been reprinted at like every Wizard World for the last 4 years, but it's still kind of cool to, you know, this has the original cover, just different. It has a Skybound logo here instead of the logo across the top. But I thought those were pretty cool to get. I'm glad they all came back such high grades. Next stuff is from the DC booth. And with all the new #1s coming out around that time, that's what these were. I got Robin, Son of Batman, the sketch cover. And just like that, I think it's Goliath is his name, I'm not sure. But his sidekick in the book, it's this big red monster looking thing. And I think they chose the wrong color going red, because see him in the sketch, he looks so much awesomer. That's the word, awesomer. Than he does in the comic book on the regular cover. I think if they went with a different color, it would have turned out a lot better. But hey, I don't make those decisions, I just read the books. I got this famous thing, it seemed like every time you bought a Batman book, they give you a poster of this. The schematics for the Batman GCPD powers, technology, whatever. And that's a pretty cool cover. You know, it's only cover, you can get that in a print and or in a poster pretty easily, but you can only get on the comic book from San Diego Comic-Con. I liked it a lot, and I'm glad that one came back in 9.8. I also picked up Batman Beyond, and the way they did it at San Diego this year is there was 4 or 5 exclusives that you can get any day, and then there's a few exclusives you can only get on certain days. And I think this one is the one you can only get on Friday, if I remember right. And so this one has a much, you know, all these books have a pretty small print run, but there's like 4 individual ones are even less than the others. Got Justice League 41. It has the old school fight poster, Dark Side vs. Anti-Monitor. Pretty cool cover, like that one a lot. Harley Quinn #17. I think they handed out masks that looked like that. It's a pretty fun cover with that one. A nice big Harley head looking at you. And the only one I picked up, this one is a Thursday exclusive. You can only get this at Thursday. This one actually, unfortunately, came back in 9.6. I wasn't there on Thursday, so I actually had someone I knew that was there pick up a copy for me. They weren't as careful as I would have liked with the comic after they got it, so can't complain about 9.6, but I just did, so I guess you can. But still, you know, nice little variant on that. I don't know how successful that book's been. It may have been a poor decision to get it CGC'd, but I did anyways, and it looks great in the case, and I'll take it. Yeah, this one, which is actually an exclusive from 2012 Comic-Con. And they brought it back, I guess, because of the success of the show. This book I like particularly because it is a wraparound cover. On the back you have Reverse Flash or Professor Zoom, or I don't know. I like the Flash, but I'm not totally caught up, and even I think people who are very familiar with it still get confused on Zoom and Reverse and what's the difference. Are they the same people? Are they different people? Hunter Zolomon and Egon Thrawn, and I don't know, I can't keep it straight, but there's a Reverse Flash or Professor Zoom type character on the back. I think it's Flashpoint, so I think it is Professor Zoom. So that's a pretty nice looking cover. The big old Flash logo, big circle, front to back. That's one of the great things about CGC is when you have that, you don't have a board back blocking off the best part, some of the best parts of the comic when you get those wraparound. Another comic book. This is the last one of the exclusives. Midnighter #1 came back in 9.8. This comic book is doing dreadful in sales. I think it's on like issue 6 or 7 right now. It's probably not going to get much further. But, you know, every book there's someone that's their favorite book, and so hopefully so this book will eventually end up in the hands of someone. I don't know. When I get books CGC, most of the time it's to sell them. I hate grading books. I hate people. Everyone has so much subjectivity. And so the way I see it, I can get a book graded. I can sell it on eBay or wherever, and no one can dispute the grade because it's not me that's grading it. It's CGC that graded it. And oftentimes the markup, even after you CGC, it's you make a little bit more that way. So, you know, when I go to shows like this, I pay my way by picking up stuff like this and hoping to flip it. I know some people look down on that, but, you know, this is how I finance and get the books I really want, is by picking up books I think are cool. If I ended up having to keep these books forever because no one wanted them, I wouldn't complain at all. You know, it's actually harder to get rid of them than I expected when I first started getting books CGC'd to flip them. This one came back at 8.5, which is about what I expected. Alias #1, first appearance of Jessica Jones, first Max comic. I picked this up for $10 last, I think it was in June, and it came back in 8.5, so I really can't complain about that. I was expecting between a 8 and a 9, so I got right in the middle, which is what I wanted. So, you know, hot book right now, cool book. This could be a nice, more affordable CGC for someone. You know, the number 9.8s are going in like the $300 to $500 range now. So not everyone can reach that. That's out of the reach for some people. So I thought I'd get that and sell it, and someone can have a book that's a little bit cheaper for them. Love this cover. Jim Lee cover, Justice League #12. This is the book where Superman and Wonder Woman officially hook up. You know, it is what it is. I got that pretty cheap at Comic-Con. Pretty happy with that grade. Picked up this one. I said it just because it looked cool. It already had a pretty good markup on eBay. Hulk #13. It's a Deadpool appearance. You know, you can see Deadpool contending against the Hulk. This is no way to treat a guest star, is what he says on the cover. So, the next two books go together. I picked up a Spider-Gwen, or Edge of Spider-Verse 2. That came back in 9.8, and I got both the color copy and the sketch copy. This is the Comic Bug variant. Exclusive, fairly low print run on these, especially the black and white or sketch. Very happy with the grade. Got them on eBay. Comic Book, I guess, is a little store out there in California. I think it's Los Angeles area or Anaheim. I don't know. To me, it's all one huge area, but for people who live there, I know there's very big differences. But I don't know it too well. But you know, if I ever make, I plan on making a couple road trips out there this year to look for books and hang out and whatnot. I might try looking up this store and actually checking it out myself. But that's the Spider-Verse #2. It's actually like, it came out in May 2015, So it's really like a 6th printing or something. It doesn't say that on there, but it's definitely not like it came out the day of release and it's that kind of variant. It was a reprint variant. Got this one back. You know, the book was a lot hotter when I sent it in than it is now, but hey, it's still a pretty awesome book, pretty awesome cover. 9.8. Can't complain too much. Got this one also, Justice League number 40, came out around the same time as Batman number 40. And, you know, I missed the boat when that one came out, and it was gone by the time I found out about it. And I actually picked up this one at Toys R Us of all places. And so to pull a 9.8 book out of Toys R Us, that's one of the luckiest things I've ever heard of. You can see this is the newsstand variant. I don't think Toys R Us even carries DC books anymore. This might be one of the last ones he had. Next up, I got Deadpool Secret Wars action figure variant, and yeah, I'm just a sucker for these action figure variants. I love them. Every time I see one, I want to get it. I want to send them in to getting graded. Hopefully, other people like them like I do, because you know I keep buying them. I won't be able to keep all of them, so some will have to go. Next book's a really hot book right now. Even though there's like 50 variations of this book. I got a 9.8 on the Chromium Walking Dead 100. I have a bunch of different versions of this, but all of them just seem to have like little tiny things wrong with them. You know, my 2nd printing, 3rd printing. So my 3rd printing is actually in really good shape, but part of my personal collection of Walking Dead is that whole 2nd print. Well, I'll have to show you guys those some other time, my Walking Dead collection. But yeah, this is just, you know, with the Chromium wraparound cover, all the blood and guts and zombies. Very happy with the 9.8 on that one. Up next, like I said, nothing too spectacular in this one. It's just books that were in great shape, I thought deserved to get graded. I got my Darth Vader number 3, first appearance of Afra, and 000 and BT1. The droids on the cover. That's just an awesome character. If you're reading the Darth Vader series and the Vader down, she's just a really cool character, really well written. It should be interesting to see how long she lasts and survives, because you know, it's always like that thing. You're watching the Star Wars stuff and you know what's going to happen. Come Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, we never see Afra in the movies, so, you know, she's probably not too long. It's the thing, like, one of my favorite shows right now is Star Wars Rebels. And you have a couple Jedi on there, and, you know, they're all leading up to New Hope with that series. And this is like, as you watch it, you know that all these characters are going to die, because at some point Luke is the last hope. These other Jedi that are on that show aren't going to survive to that point. So it's like you watch it, you're enjoying it, you're rooting for the characters, but you know what's going to happen to all the characters eventually. It's kind of sad. But moving on, enough about Darth Vader. This one came back in 9.4, about what I expected on it. I knew it wasn't going to be a 9.8. I was hoping for 9.6, but 9.4 is probably the fair grade. Marvel .1, number 1. We're all new Marvel now, .1, number 1. They put out this comic like this every time they do a, hey, we're going to reboot our entire thing every 6 months. And they introduce a new character usually. This time it was Kamala Khan. See right here, this is her first appearance. Or first full appearance of Kamala Khan. Even more important Kamala Khan appearance. The last time I showed you guys a video, I had the same book in there. It came back in 9.0. A little disappointed. This one came back in 9.8, so super excited about that. Great book, great character. Glad to have it in a high grade. This one will probably hold on to a little bit. It'll be a little harder to part with this high of a grade, this good of a book. So that one's probably going to go in my personal collection. This Spider-Gwen #1, the Phantom Encore Edition. It's a cover swipe from Amazing Spider-Man 300, that first appearance of Venom cover. There's like Phantom put out like 5 or 6 different characters with these. The Spider-Gwen one was probably one of the best ones of the group. Speaking of Spider-Gwen, I actually picked this book up very cheap at San Diego Comic Con. I think I paid like $4 for it. And it's a Inca variant. And I know it's not Paul Inca. I think that's some sort of lounge singer type guy, but Inca is his last name. Like I said, I don't know artists as well as I should. All you guys are out there know everything about every artist, and I feel like I'm lagging behind on that. But oh, it's Kirk Inca. It says it right there. So it's the Inca variant. I think it's a 1 in 25. Come back in 9.8. Very happy with that. Next comic, I'm very happy. 9.8 on Starfire #1. This is the Lapicino art. And you know what? I'll have to look on eBay, see other people selling this, but this doesn't mention variant at all on here. So it looks like for 2 times in a row, I'm going to have to send a book back to CGC to get the right label put in. Because it doesn't mention the variant. I'll see with other people who have posted this to sell it on eBay, see what they have on their tags. If my tag is different, then I'm going to know that's not right. So that's really disappointing. That I didn't get the, even says right here, Amanda Conner cover, who did the original cover. This cover is not Amanda Conner. So that's disappointing, but I have to start looking more at the processes. They put up little updates as things going through CGC, and they'll tell you what they're going to have on the labels and stuff beforehand. I need to start watching those better, so I can call them up and try to correct them before they send them out, because that's just frustrating. Last time I had to send my Wolverine 66 back because he had it as a wrong version, and that had to get relabeled. I had to pay, not a whole lot of money, but more money than I wanted to send it back to them so they can fix it. They're fixing it and everything for free, which, of course, but I still have to spend money to get it there, which is frustrating. I'm already, invested in these books so much. This one came back in 9.8. Book from 1996, Nightwing #1. And this is this beautiful, beautiful condition. Another thing about this, when I had this order going through CGC, it was taking the last step before they ship it out is called grading quality control. And they usually sit in that for like 1 to 2 weeks. And this one sat there for like 3 weeks. So I called up. I said, what's going on with my books? Why are they in the step for so long? And the guy told me that they had to be under review from the head grader. And he was on vacation for Thanksgiving week. So it all got delayed. And I looked in. I guess one of the things, like if a book comes back higher than a 9.8, they have to get it reviewed a certain amount of times. I was pretty confident if there was a book in here that was anywhere close to being above a 9.8, it's probably going to be this one. So it may have gotten that grade originally, and then the head grader came in with his microscope and found one tiny little flaw to chop down the grade from the 9.9 or 10.0 that it may have been. But or it could have been something completely different. Who knows? They're very, they don't give you all the information that you would like when you talk to them. But their customer service is really nice and really polite. They treat you well. They just take forever to get your stuff back to you. That's the biggest problem. And the last book I have back from CGC this time is The Book of Death, Legend of the Geomancer #1. And this is a really cool book. It's a variant that came out as part of the Book of Death, where they're telling this story, and the only way you can find this story is to find it in this book. They said they're not going to reprint it. They're not going to make a trade. This is it. And so what I did with this ultra rare story that's so hard to find and so hard to read is I put it in a slab, made sure it was sealed tight so no one would ever get to read it. So that's some of the funny things we do as comic book collectors like this, but it's a hard comic to find, beautiful comic. Glad it came back such a high grade. That's all my comics for this CGC haul. Thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe, like. Yeah, I'm hoping to do some cool things with my channel coming up. Probably going to do a contest towards the beginning of next year. Try to get a little more participation. And, thanks for watching. Everyone have a good time.